everyone, it is the Athletic Geek, and it is time for my comic shop adventure this week. Flying solo this week, got to give a shout out to Nick. He is in New Orleans for WrestleMania. If you don't follow the Just Two Marks weekly wrestling recap that we do, he's down in New Orleans. He's down in Nolans. He's having a good time. Gonna have a big weekend ahead of him. So while he's down enjoying the biggest wrestling weekend of the year, I am going to head to my local comic shop and pick up my new books. As far as last week, the highlight of the week was the final installment of Dark Knight's Metal. Just very, very good. The ending, again, I have to just turn the volume down for a couple seconds while I discuss the ending if you don't want to be spoiled if you haven't read it yet. But we ended up reading that one, and it was a very, very interesting ending with Bruce kind of opening up Wayne Manor to the rest of the Justice League, and there's kind of a bougie, glitzy party going on with all the members of the Justice League, excuse me, and kind of getting to just enjoy each other's company, not exactly as heroes, but as just as people. You have Hal and Clark and Barry, just wearing formal tuxes and formal dresses, and just enjoying each other's company and being able to have dinner and laugh and enjoy each other's presence, not as heroes. And I thought that was very, very cool. Very, very well done ending by Snyder and Capullo. But in addition to your people that kind of blend into society well, like Diana, like Clark, you also have like Swamp Thing was there at the party, and he was getting just to enjoy himself. And I don't know, I thought it was like fantastic art by Greg Capullo. Not that you'd expect anything less from a guy like that. And it was a great little mini-series. And as far as other good books, that was the highlight. But as far as other good books I read, Doomsday Clock number 4. What more can be said other than what I've already said on the Facebook page about it? Just it's everything you thought would be, integrating the Watchmen to the main DC universe. Flash was very good. Teen Titans was pretty good. They're really making some Beast Boy centric issues, which I'm definitely on board with. Terrifics number 2. Another very, very good book. Terrifics being spurned out of Dark Knight's Metal. Just lots of good books coming from DC right now. That doesn't say that I don't read Marvel. Just the stuff that I'm liking the most at this moment is coming from DC, and I'll be back with you in a minute to see what I was able to pick up this week. So catch y'all in a bit. Hey everyone, back from the comic shop now. Had a light week, I guess. Now that I'm starting to get back in the swing of going to the comic shop every week, my weeks are a little lighter, but got 7 books this week. X-Men Gold, the Cruel and Unusual storyline continues with the X-Men being thrown into prison. It's all right. It's probably one of the better X-Men books right now, but just being honest, I just keep reading the X-Men just because I love the characters so much that I don't want to not read at least one X title, and I kind of go into multiple ones right now. But reading that, and then Astonishing X-Men, which if you can take a good look right there, that is literally the only reason that I read it. I shouldn't say that. That might be a little harsh, but putting Gambit on there, and it's an X-Men book with Gambit, and he's not always available to read, so always pick up Gambit when I can. Green Lanterns, starting a new story arc here, but this is a very, very good book from DC. Simon Baz, Jessica Cruz it's a buddy cop book. It's been one of the highlights of the DC rebirth. It's not really branded that anymore, but ever since the DC went through their rebirth phase, it's been one of the better books. Nightwing, always going to read a Nightwing book if they have it, because I just love that character. Justice League, the Justice Lost storyline continues. It's got a very intriguing cover, Who Shot Wonder Woman, so be very interested to see how this ends up playing out, and hopefully it's very good. Justice League, ever since the New 52, Justice League's been very hit or miss. The Johns run, some people liked it, some people didn't. I really liked it, but ever since then, Justice League has just been very, very hit or miss, and it's got enough hits that I keep reading it. So there you go. Superman, the Bizarro verse, it's been very, very entertaining with just because I think Bizarro is a very fun character, and there's a lot you can do with Bizarro, and I'm gonna keep doing Bizarro stuff. I mean, I wish they go back to having like the tales from the Bizarro world like they had back in the Silver and the Bronze Age, where they'd have just Bizarro books. But don't really think that's gonna happen nowadays. But I would definitely jump on that if they ever did. And then finally, the final book from my pull list today is Batman. Something old, something new. If you haven't been following Batman, him and Selena and Bruce, Batman and Catwoman are a couple, and they know each other's secret, and they're planning on getting married, and they're finally going to. I don't think they're going to completely pull the trigger on Bruce Wayne getting married. It's just like that's just something. I don't know if you can ever do that in comic books. Just I feel like you can't do that. But, I'm very intrigued to see how this plays out, and we're going to see how far it goes. If they do, and they make it good, I'm okay with it. That's going to be very controversial and have a lot of different opinions from a lot of different fans, but I'm willing to give it a chance to see where it goes. And, I mentioned earlier Dark Knight's Metal with Snyder and Capullo. They are, to me, the best Batman writers of the last 20 years. But, they've ever since leaving this book, haven't been bad without him. King has done a tremendous job keeping good Batman stories up. With all due respect to him, it's not as good as Snyder and Capullo, but it's been very, very well done. That it's still probably one of the books I look forward to the most. So that's all as far as comics. And then I also stumbled upon this little number while at the shop. Pretty neat looking Catwoman bust. It comes with this little magazine talking about with different, showing off different artists' interpretations and different Catwoman stories. So it's pretty neat. But got a good deal on it. It was it's under $30, and it's a really, really nice looking statue, or mini bust, or whatever you want to call it. So this will be going up in the living room, is where all my Batman related statues. These are just figures and comics behind me, but this will be going up in my living room here pretty shortly. And overall it was a good week. Good week at the comic shop. Found a lot of good deals, and gonna read these books and gonna have a good time. I'll working on reading the graphic novel I got last week still, just because of time issues. Finished my pull list last week, but I should be finishing up with that, and I'll try to have the review up for that sometime here shortly. But this was this week's adventure to the comic shop, or comic shop adventure, whatever you want to call it. So y'all have a good weekend. Later.